85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
Okay. I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow for work.
Oh.
It'll be somehow I've worked remote for like over a year and have not had to travel at all. But tomorrow is the day.
Did this catch you by surprise? It seems like oftentimes...
It wasn't. No, it hasn't been on the books long, but it's just one of those things like it creeps up on you.
Yeah.
It's like a vacation you're like looking forward to. So you're counting the days until it comes. A work trip, it's like it could come and you would least expect it. So that's what I'm in right now.
Yeah, I don't go on a ton of work trips. I go on maybe 3 or 4 a year, once a quarter maybe. And I always get like, oh, it'll be fun. I'm going to Austin, or I'm going to Detroit, and then it's like somewhere I've never been. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And then you get there and you're like, I guess I'll just watch some movies in my hotel.
Honestly, it gives you a real appreciation for how much you like spending time with your significant other.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like anytime I am traveling without Abe, I'm like, this is miserable. But it'll be fine. I think I'll have fun. I honestly am just like San Francisco'd out, to be honest.
Is there an idea here? Okay, hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's like Tinder, but for people who happen to be on work trips at the same time.
So it's like Tinder, but it's like, what's that site for cheating people?
Yeah, well, no, like
Ashley Madison, but
not for people of the opposite sex. But you're like I'm gonna work.
Okay, fine. People of the same sex, then.
Or whatever. Not people you're attracted to.
For friends.
Yeah, but like it's like friends that like we're all gonna basically get lunch together, maybe like go sightseeing together, and if you become friends after, it's like you're looking for like a really short-term buddy.
I think that there probably is something there. I've been to several like dozen work conferences.
Yeah.
And it seems that some people are really good at going to conferences and like making conference friends.
They're like, hey, everyone, let's go to the bar tonight.
The same way that like I used to go to summer camp as a kid. And there were some kids who, like, I loved camp, but there were some kids who naturally were like social movers and shakers. And I was never a mover and shaker. I always glommed on to a mover and shaker.
You are a sitter and squatter.
Yes, exactly. And I think an app to make friends at conferences and on work trips would actually be really good. And what's good about conferences, everybody's in the same place.
Right.
And some people are alone and some people are with their group and some people are with their whatever. So it's like, how can we connect all the people that are alone to have more fun at conferences?
On the last work trip I went on, I went to Tampa, and I happened to be with somebody who like kind of knew the ins and outs of that particular hotel. But I very well could have been with anybody else or no one, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, did you know that this room comes with a bucket of balls for the driving range every morning? It's like, no. How would I ever have known that? And like there are just lots of things where it's like, oh, there's this like really dope breakfast place. Maybe somebody would like want to go hit it up and like you could, have a little buddy.
I think this is a good idea. And I think you could go to conference organizers. So having worked like peripheral to events for a long time, there's like conference organizers, they're paying all this money for like the ticketing software and the booth scanning software. And like there's a 100 different softwares that sit on top of conferences and the app, right? All these different things. So I think you could go to conference people and say like, it's $1 an attendee and it's a great app and it connects like it basically adds this fun social dimension on top of your conference, and it'll make people like want to come back, and they'll make lifelong friends, and then they'll want to meet up every year at your conference.
Yeah.
I think you could actually sell it B2B.
There's a play here.
It's fun when you get a good idea out of banter.
You gotta love that. Speaking of which, let's start a podcast.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandeer. You will take it.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
Well, someone like you just steal.
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. steal this idea.
Hello again, thieves.
We're back.
We are back, baby. It's another episode of Steal This Idea. Andre, tell the thieves who are new here, what is Steal This Idea?
Steal This Idea is the only podcast where every single week Scott and I get together and we share our greatest and best ideas with thieves to steal absolutely for free. We have every single type of idea that you can imagine.
Yes,
all of them are amazing, and all of them are completely stealable, meaning you can listen to this podcast and go out and start these businesses, and we can't stop you. Scott, what is one of your favorite ideas that has been on the show?
Ooh, that's a good question. I referenced it last week, I think. There was an episode that you pitched an idea, which is basically Warby Parker for everything. So if you're not familiar with Warby Parker, that is like you get 5 sets of eyeglasses. And
that was a good idea of mine. I forgot about that.
You can see which ones you like, and then you send them back, right? And I think you called it up level.
Uh-huh.
And the idea behind this is like, we'll take that model, but apply it to consumer headphones and apply it to wallets and apply it to these things that's like there's like a billion of. And man, wouldn't it be nice? Like I sent you an ad of a wallet today because I thought, it's like an interesting mechanism there. It's got this magnetic seal that I hadn't seen before. It's $120 though. Like you'd really have to try anyway. So we kind of flesh out what that idea would look like.
Up level. Probably a year old.
It's an older episode for sure, but I would say definitely one of the better ones. I think that's right about when we hit our stride, you know?
Yeah. I'm just giving thieves an idea of how long they'll have to scroll to the Spotify page to find it. It's about a year old. It's called Up Level.
Yeah.
100%.
Good episode. We got a good show for you today. We got a couple workshops. Andre is going to try and finish line some of these ideas that we have here that are all very good or very okay. But I think they'll all be good.
Okay.
Well,
I will make them good if they are not good.
That's right. And then I want to bring back the ongoing problem, which is the housing market. And I want to pick your brain on an idea I had again today.
I love housing problems.
Well, let's hop into our favorite segment, Andre, which is good idea, bad idea. Good idea, bad idea, Andre. One of the best segments on the show.
What is good idea, bad idea, Scott?
I'm glad you asked, Andre, because I almost forgot. Good idea, bad idea. Every week, we get ads, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all over the place. And, it's a new generation we live in. Somebody can come up with an idea, again, like all these ideas we pitch you, and you could get it funded on Kickstarter or whatever, and you could crank out an idea in 90 days. And so we get ads for all sorts of things, and some of them are good, some are bad. We like to discuss some of those bleeding edge ideas. Sometimes we buy them, sometimes we dunk on them, and we got some good ones. What you got for me today, Andre?
So my first link is jcoffee.com, Javy, Javy, coffee.com. I get this ad near constantly.
I've gotten this ad, and I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah, exactly, which is odd that you would get it. And essentially, Javy is a liquid coffee concentrate, and it's such concentrated coffee that simply a few drops in, I guess, milk or presumably water.
Yeah, it looks like you just
mix
it's like two like one spoonful.
Mm-hmm.
You dump it in either a cup of water or.
It's a little unclear. It says drop 1 to 2 teaspoons of microdose into the water. Add your favorite milk or coffee to taste. So yeah, hot or cold water,
Javy.
1 teaspoon of Javy, and that is a cup of coffee.
So, as somebody who doesn't drink coffee, it seems like there is lots of different kinds of coffee. Is iced coffee something that you're like, yeah, I'm into that? Or are you just like a regular coffee guy? Are you a no coffee guy?
If I want coffee, I will go to Starbucks or Dutch Bros or Dunkin' Donuts or something. I very rarely brew coffee. We used to occasionally make coffee with a Keurig, which was nice. To give out thieves who don't drink coffee or who haven't bought them, I think a Keurig cup comes out to like 25 cents a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Microdose comes in at a whopping $20 a bottle with a
Jeez.
minimum order. I guess, yeah, so the best value is to buy 3 bottles for $17.95. But it's $20 a bottle, which is extremely expensive. And that makes 30 cups of coffee. So you're at like that pretty cheap, I guess, per cup. But I just don't think it would taste very good. I think like it would just be, I don't know. I just am actually really uninterested. I'm curious, thieves out there who do drink coffee, if this like concept of pre-made kind of super strong coffee that you mix with water is attractive. To me, it doesn't seem much better than just like instant coffee, which you can mix with water anyway, or something significantly better to me, which is just like homebrewed coffee, or if homebrewed coffee is too hard for you, a Keurig cup, which is really not hard at all.
Let me go down the benefits chart here, and you tell me if you give it any sort of like value. Okay, so number 1, 3x coffee concentrate. That's Javia has that. Traditional coffee does not have that.
Right. That makes sense because this is meant to be diluted with water, like cleaner.
Yeah, that's not really a benefit. That's just what it is. 2, clutter-free.
This, yes, is a benefit because a Keurig machine is unattractive. I just think coffee in general adds a ton of crap to your counter. That's really annoying to me as a minimalist counter type of guy. So I would say that this is a benefit of the Javi.
Delicious, silky smooth flavor.
Which you don't get with traditional coffee.
I feel like that's
a real dig. That's a real dig on traditional coffee.
Endless styles of coffee.
Not true, because this is one single flavor. So I guess in theory you could mix it with a lot of water or a little water or
Mountain Dew or
but it's not really endless.
Travel friendly?
I guess.
Sure.
More travel friendly than ground coffee.
Barista backed? I don't know what that even means.
I would say that traditional coffee, which baristas brew every day all across the country, is also
employed.
barista backed. I don't know how you could say traditional coffee is not barista backed.
Yeah, that seems. Unless you're talking
crafted
about like
sustainably,
Folgers, I guess.
Which it's like, yeah, I mean, not all coffee is crafted sustainably, but any traditional coffee could be sustainably crafted.
Yeah.
Cost per day 60 cents versus traditional coffee, which is $3.50. Which is fair if you're comparing traditional coffee
at Starbucks, but not a bucket of Folgers, right?
Yes, and this is confusing because it says clutter free, which Javi is not. But I'll tell you, Starbucks is 100% clutter free because the clutter stays at Starbucks. So that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's sneaky, right?
Honestly, the comparison chart alone makes me hate this product because it's so like stupid. I think this is too expensive. Thieves out there who make coffee at home please let me know what you think. I could be totally off base on this one.
Okay, let's hop into mine here. I get this ad every once in a while. I was actually kind of nervous searching for it. It's nudemints.com. I just feel like you're one space away, one character away from getting into trouble. So it's a breath and gut freshener. Mm-hmm. So I thought this was like an interesting play because it's not just mints, or it's kind of this like gelatin thing that claims to give you 3 hours of fresh breath, but also targets your gut. So basically it's like a mint that's clear on the outside that you like swallow or whatever, or that dissolves. And then the inner layer is like this, like, I don't know if it's like a gummy or something, but that slowly dissolves into your gut and then helps your gut, I guess. What do you do you
I'm actually interested. I am very self-conscious about my breath. I have gone through phases of my life where I took many Altoids and Listerine breath strips. So an innovation in the breath freshening market is interesting to me. These come out to $4 a unit. They also have a comparison.
It looks like there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20-ish in a little box.
Yeah, it's a really interesting packaging. Thieves that don't know what we're talking about, go to nudemints.com. It's just like a very kind of futuristic package.
It kind of looks like,
which is kind of cool.
You know those little like handheld black ball maze things. You're trying to like line them up and like get them to get on like the certain spots. like a little brain
it does
teaser
look
thing.
like that. Are you less interested? I'm interested in this. If I saw this at 7-Eleven, I would 1,000% buy it.
Well, that's the thing is I agree. The problem is it seems like you can only buy a case of them for $20,
which is not interesting to me at all.
Yeah.
It's like it's that same thing we were talking about at the beginning of the show. It's just like some of these things just I can't go $20 in on mints. I just can't. I can't.
This goes back to I think my idea from last episode.
Yes,
simple sample.
the sample size.
Which is just like I would pay $2 a month for a box, and one of the boxes is breath mints, and it's like, yeah, give me a sample of 20 of them. Sure, I'll go through all of them and be like, oh, nude. Those are great. I love the taste. I love how they made me feel.
Yeah, I don't give any credits to the gut bacteria thing. I just don't think that this could freshen my gut, or that I necessarily want my gut freshened. But I am interested in the concept that it is more effective at bad breath.
Yeah,
that's all.
So nude, give us an option to try one box. I'd pay a couple bucks for a box. Or package it with something. I don't know. That's nude. Let's do, what is this? Yeelight?
This is the Yeelight. Yeee light.com, thieves. This is I don't know if I linked you to the right page in chat, but just kind of navigate around the website, Scott. But this is a lamp that goes over your desk. You clip it to the top of your monitor, and it illuminates your desk area.
Illuminates.
The ad for this is so sexy that I can't stop thinking about it. The problem is that I don't really need a light. It's for lighting your keyboard, as if you were somebody that couldn't type in the dark, which is certainly not me. I wonder if this website is super off-putting.
This website makes me literally want to kill myself.
I know. It is so horrible. Yeelight.com, thieves, check it out. What I'm trying to show you is they have a really cool clips to the top of your...
Yeah, the lamp looks awesome.
I will send you the ad. The ad is the sexiest thing I have seen all year, easily. Yeah. But this website is disgustingly bad.
It's so bad.
So thieves, just take note there.
And also, Yeelight, I think, is a dumb name.
Yeah, it is a really bad name.
Because it looks
Are
like
you interested?
It looks like Yeet Light.
Yeah. God, I want to link you with a product that I want you to look at, but I'm having such a hard time.
It seems like they have a Razer integration, so this links up with your.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
You can look in RGB a whole bunch of stuff. It looks like.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of out on RGB personally.
I think so too. Somehow LEDs went from, or LEDs of all colors went from really cool to really tacky overnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool desk light. Yeelight.com. I would tell you to go to the website, but don't. I might put a link to the TikTok.
We don't want to put you through that.
Just go to nudemints.com. Check them out instead. Yeelight.
Okay, well, this last one here, Andre, I thought was really cool, actually. I might buy this, even though I don't need it. So this is otolawn.com, otolawn.com. Now, I know, Andre, you don't really have a yard, but one of the banes of my existence, I think we've talked about on the podcast, is water systems like sprinklers. It's really easy to break sprinkler heads, and it's really easy to forget where your sprinklers are, and they can flood and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, this is instead of the traditional way, which is to put sprinklers in the ground, have a whole system, this is a box that plugs into your hose, and you kind of screw it into a wall somewhere, and then it just you kind of zone out on an app where your lawn is, and then it just shoots out water, arcs it over to the different parts of your lawn.
Yeah.
Just kind of it just slowly goes back and forth, and you have this big rainbow effect, and it's all just this really smart robot thing. I think this is awesome.
This is awesome.
Right?
This is clearly awesome.
Yeah.
With technology. So technology. Oh, such a good idea. So technology clearly has evolved to the point where you can, you don't have to be the U.S. government to have, precision control water, basically. It's you can put a box in your lawn, and a computer can figure out how much water pressure to add to get it a certain distance.
Yeah.
So why do I need a little spigot in the ground that just like kind of is spray and pray technology.
Well, and
When-
it's like to get sprinklers in your house, it's like $4,000.
No, I know.
Man.
I'm sure it is.
It's so
and then they
expensive.
break constantly. I had sprinklers growing up, and the sprinkler system was a constant battle.
Yeah.
And a lot of tears were shed by me personally over the sprinkler system.
The other thing what's great about this is that these like packets you put in, and you can put fertilizer in there and like weed killer and stuff, which is just like obviously duh. I mean that's like Sunday. Sunday is like a weed killer. They have a whole model around that where you like kind of plug it into your hose and like as you water your garden or whatever. But
I mean, there's a really great like GIF that shows. I mean, it covers just your lawn. Spend less time like spraying your fences and less time spraying your sidewalks because this device knows your footprint and can spray directly your footprint.
yeah, and
This makes so much sense.
It's $400. It's like
No brainer.
yeah. The biggest downside is like I have like a decent sized yard, like almost a quarter acre, and like I would probably need a couple of these, which is like not ideal, but like I would probably use this as like, because I have like spots in my lawn where it's like, I had a sprinkler break and like it's like this big kind of hassle. Anyway, so I'm doing a little more research, but like I might actually get one of these to help with parts of my lawn.
Oh, I would love for you to do that because I can't justify it given that I don't have a lawn. But honestly, like if Odolon, if you're out there listening and you need an investor, hit me up. Like I will figure out a way to get you money because I think this is such a brilliant idea. And if this was in Home Depot, if this was in Lowe's, I think this would sell out all summer long. I really do. This is a good idea. Where did you get advertised?
Just on Instagram. It was just that
I haven't seen this at all. So
that kind of back and forth at the top of the website. That's what I saw.
Otolon, OTOLawn.com.
Check it out. Yeah, check them out. All right, Andre, I think it's time to the main event. I have 2 workshops that I want to run through you here.
Okay, Scott.
Get them
you
to the
may
finish
run
line.
me through the ideas.
Okay.
The energy on the show is like so off today. If you're out there and you're like, this is the first episode you've ever listened to, and you're like, I just feel like the jive is a little weird. Scott and I are like running a 3-legged race right now, and we're both a little tired. I don't know what's going on. Yes, Scott, give me your 2 big ideas, and let's develop them into 2 amazing ideas.
All right, Andre. Idea number 1. Here's the pitch. You, let's say, own a vacation rental. Okay? You want to make this place stand out, right? So what do? You know, what are the things you do to make your vacation rental stand out?
I maybe put up some interesting decorations.
Okay.
So am I looking to make it stand out for great guest experience, or am I looking to make it stand out so people see the ad and they're like, I have to book it?
I guess a more guest experience, or like to draw in more
potential bookers, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the challenge is I hear the question and I'm like, oh, you should leave out a little gift basket and you should take them on a pizza tour or something like that. But that makes the experience better, but your listing doesn't look any more attractive. I don't know. Maybe a VR console that they can use. I don't know. Like
you're
some sort of cool. I would want to put in my listing something that other Airbnbs don't have.
Yes.
Like a VR console. I don't know why that's the only thing that comes to mind, but
that is the line I was fishing. Mm-hmm. So this is a service. Nice happy dance. This is a service. I just did a little cheer. Yeah, this is a service where I'm calling it Rentastic. And the idea is I have things like golf clubs and an Xbox and an e-bike that maybe I don't use all the time. And whether I live near my vacation rental or I'm willing to leave them at vacation rental, or better yet, I'm willing to put them in other people's vacation rental for a small premium. So the idea is you have these things and people who are renting maybe near you, around you, they can basically solicit like, oh, I want to leave golf clubs or an e-bike or an Xbox or a VR system in the rental. And in this service, you'd have some sort of insurance thing, whatever. Like it'd be kind of, you'd have to tie it to Airbnb or whatever. But generally, if it, most people, it's like that's part of what they're paying for, right? Or it's this thing they kind of add on, right? Where they say, hey, I want to rent this, and also I want the add-on package, which gives me all this stuff, right? Because when we go down, I want to have this fun I want to have this fun game night. I want to have like again, your mind can go in certain directions, right? Where if there's going to be drinking, maybe it's, this is a bad example, but something like a keg or like something that is like a novelty that most people don't have, but somebody's got, and so, yeah, I am as a renter, I would put out to Rentastic, like, hey, I'm looking for these things. And that there'd be a little marketplace where I could say, okay, I want Scott's golf clubs. He's going to rent them to me for $2 a day. And then I'm going to rent them to my prospects for $10 a day or whatever. Like you figure out the kind of the economics there, but basically it's like I get money for stuff that I'm not using. Like I'm not using my golf clubs right now. I'm in a phase of life where I'm just not
over golfing.
I try and go here and there, but again, if I know like, oh, I'm just like an Airbnb, it's like, oh, I know they're being rented out this week, but I'm going to get a little kickback for it. And because it's already in like you could say like, oh, just rent them out from a stranger here and there. It's like, well, no, people who are going to rentals, that's like, they're in this mindset already. It's like, oh, I want to go there. Let's rent some e-bikes too, or let's go golfing, or let's do this thing. So yeah, I think a service like this, I mean, ideally it'd be coupled into a platform, but I think it could work as a standalone. That's just like a connection service.
Yes, I think this is a good idea. I think the only way to make it work is to go upstream. So we started with like, what if you could put your Xbox in somebody's house and get like $1 a day on it? I don't think that quite works, but I do think that this works for like an ATV.
Oh yeah, for sure on the high end,
boat or something, all super manageable. So there is a service in Salt Lake, and I am sure there are other places as well, called Avail. And what Avail is I drive to the airport, and I get free airport parking plus some money, and in exchange, I go away on my trip, and while I'm gone, Avail rents my car.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It is a great idea, but it's like, it sounds like a lot of work, right? To like go through this whole Avail process for free parking and maybe some money while I'm out of town. I'm not that desperate for free parking when I'm out of town. So there's like some interesting things there. But I think on the other hand, people probably are really interested in potentially free storage for their ATV / recreational equipment of all shapes and sizes, from like your toddler car up to your ATV and everything in between and everything recreational. It's good to have some storage for that, which is like, I'm going to put this in an Airbnb rental and make some kind of passive income on it. I think from a how is it priced perspective, what would be nice is if this second third-party app called Rentastic can plug into Airbnb, and we're basically assuring everybody involved that we are only going to charge for like the days that it's actually used.
Right, yeah.
So as an Airbnb host, I'm able to like get this item that's like more attractive for my listing that I potentially charge an additional fee for. And as a person that's like potentially putting my property at risk, I'm being assured that most of the time it's just getting stored, but some of the time it'll be being rented, and we'll let you know, and you'll make money every time that somebody's actually using the equipment. So as an Airbnb host, I can see like the clear ROI versus like I'm renting this ATV and most of the time it's not even being used.
Yeah.
So it just seems like kind of a loss. I think the clear way that Rentastic makes money is you're incentivized to use this like Rentastic platform because of the insurance, right?
Right.
The one, they provide this like clear, really great way to monitor like when your stuff's being used and to know when you can pick it up and have back and forth and all this. And also it's like everything that's rented through Rentastic is 100% insured.
Right.
And both sides of the party pay X number of dollars to the third party platform in the middle. And that's why we provide insurance.
Right.
I think that this is a good idea. I do. And I think so. Just recently I went on a really big trip with a bunch of my friends and looked a lot at Airbnbs, and clearly like far and above the biggest differentiator. I mean, you're looking at thousands of listings in most popular vacation spots. It's like, you got to have something that's like just a little bit different. And that would be fun, right?
And especially if you're like, oh, I'd love to stay at this place with a huge pool, but it's $1,000 a night. Can't swing it. So now you ultimately are deciding between 20 places that are all like, I guess this place, the beds might look a little comfier. But if it was like, hey, by the way, we have this, I have this add-on package worked out where for just a little bit more, you get 2 e-bikes and you get this and you get this and you get this. And like, it takes your total from like it's just a little bit more, just like, hey, all this stuff is like already ready to go. You just say you want it and it'll be there. And so, yeah, I think you could have like I still do think that there's an angle for medium market stuff. For example, when we were in St. George, we got a bunch of bikes and we didn't really have a bike trailer. And so we just kind of had to go to a bike shop and rent one. But I am certain that there are people who have bike trailer. Like we had a bike trailer at home. We just didn't bring it. I'm certain that there are people with bike trailers in St. George who would have been like, yeah, you could use mine for the day. And for, $5, $10, or it's cheaper than what I got at the bike rental. Right. So, yeah, I do think there was a middle ground there where like, I think people could, because also like, maybe this is a bad example, but imagine if you had like an epic board game collection and somebody didn't.
Yeah.
It's
just like
if you could bundle together and be like, I have this thing. I
get it. I get the value. I'm just like trying to feel it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my hands in it because it sounds like preposterous to me if I have a huge board game collection to be like, yeah, and if that's somebody else's house all the time, I'm going to go pick it up. Like, getting it back and forth alone is like almost not worth the pennies and cents I might make in renting it.
Well, I think how it would do, how that would work is basically at these Airbnbs, you'd also have like drop off points and you'd have like crates and stuff where it's like basically like, hey, I also got the board game package. And so I basically keep this stuff that I am not using very often in this little crate. When somebody's like, I get a little ping, it's like, hey, somebody wants this address, I can just drop it off. And when they're done with it, they pack it. Like that's part of the agreement is like you pack it back up the way you got. Just like you got to clean you got to put the towels in place.
I get it. Maybe that's like this like new economy we're in, and like it's all about making dollars and cents on everything you have.
I think there, especially things like golf clubs, like or things that are not by some people they have and they're infrequently used. But it's like, oh, it'd be nice. Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind loaning out my okay golf clubs, that like are insured and I could make a little bit of money, just like you would, again, loan out your car, loan out your house. It's a similar principle just with your stuff, I guess. Rentastic. Thieves, let me know what you think.
I think it's a good idea. I really do think it's a good idea. And I think you could test it.
Yeah. Certain markets.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more idea here. It's a little simpler, and I think you would have a better idea I think you would know if it's a good idea better than I would. But it came to me, and I was like, I wonder why this doesn't exist. But it looks like you're typing right now.
I know, I'm listening.
Okay. Here is the pitch. We are in a world of influencers. And the biggest up and coming influencer platform is
Club
no.
TikTok. I thought Clubhouse was a very valid answer.
What? I mean,
you're right though. In the beyond like the business influencers.
Oh yeah. This is. Yeah, an individual influencer, contributor, whatever. Okay, so here's my idea, Andre. You are a business owner and you own a cat grooming store, specifically for cats.
Okay.
And you want to put a commercial out there to say, hey,
can I sidebar on this for something
Yes.
that I think plugs into your idea? So I just recently started following a TikTok account called Stuffed Animal 911. Thieves that are interested, go find this on TikTok. And what she does, she has a business where you send her your like raggedy old stuffed animal that you've had for 100 years, and she fixes them. And she does an incredible job. And she does these TikToks where she walks through, she's like giving them a bath, she's sewing them back up. She does it with like so much love and care. It's insane. And I'm like, this is a business that she should promote better because she could make $1 billion doing it. So I think maybe that plugs into your idea a little bit.
Sure. So so here's the idea. You own a cat grooming store and you're saying, okay, I want to advertise and drive business to my thing. Now, what are the ways that you drive business? Okay, you got your online ads, right? You can do a billboard, you can do a commercial. Now, a commercial is expensive, right? It's a really expensive medium, and it's like kind of a confusing medium these days. But what if, Andre, what if there was a service that said, hey, we have a bunch of airspace, bunch of airtime, and instead of putting all this money into production to film your really clever commercial about cat grooming, you tap into our TikTok influencer network and you bid out the commercial to TikTokers. And you say, hey, whoever makes the best commercial for my cat grooming wins the bid, gets a portion of how much it costs to run this thing, and then gets put on TV on primetime commercial, whatever, like that time slot, right? So you are really only paying for like the actual airtime and not for the production. You're outsourcing the production in a competition fashion to all these TikTokers trying to come up with a funny, a clever, an interesting, or whatever. And that's what these people are trying to do anyway, right? They're all trying to like get famous. They're trying to get their name out there. And so now you're saying like, hey, if you make a funny enough cat video and I like it, it goes on TV. And now you like all these people who might have not ever heard of you, this this stuffed animal 911, if she makes like a clever video, all of a sudden that's the commercial in between the football game, and feel like, oh, this lady's kind of funny. It's got her TikTok handle in the corner, and then she wins because she gets a little business from you, but also she becomes a little more famous. I'm calling it Broadway because it sounds like a big media,
I definitely prefer Rentastic. So help me walk me through a case study. So okay. I am Andre Washington with Stuffed Animal Rescue 911.
No, okay. Are you the TikToker or are you the business?
I'm the business.
So you're Andre Washington.
We know I'm not a TikToker.
You're Andre Washington with like the regular, you own a vet, you own a restaurant.
Okay, sure. I own a restaurant.
Okay.
That's easier to digest. And so I want more business. And I go to
Broadwave. And they say, Andre, instead of paying all this money to get actors, to get production, to film this commercial about how cool your restaurant is, instead outsource the creative power of TikTok, which people are already loving right now. They already love the format. They love the medium. It's only getting more popular. And we're going to bid out what you want to these TikTokers. And then you pick the best one. And then you'll basically just pay us for airtime. We've already bought the slots for commercials. So you'll pick how much the slot is, but you're going to save all this money that you would spend on production for the commercial. And at a fraction of the cost, you're going to pay us and in some part the TikToker, who gets a little bit of a commission if they get picked. But the big value that they get is they get airtime, which they are unable to get because they're not a business.
Yeah,
who have bucks to buy commercials. They're just TikTokers.
Do you think the TikTokers place that much value in airtime?
I think if someone said,
quote unquote, airtime,
if I'm a TikToker, right, and I'm trying to get that next big video that like catches, right, and someone's like, hey, so-and-so restaurant is bidding out, if you can come up with a funny TikTok that's 30 seconds that pitches their restaurant, however you want to do it, you get $100, or a couple $100, and you're going to be viewed by 100,000 people.
So there is like a couple $100 in it.
Yeah, yeah. I think what you pay Broadwave is a little bit of a premium on airtime, and that basically gets split somehow between the creator and Broadwave. That's how they make their money.
This makes sense. But the creator, I could be a Broadway TikTok partner or Broadway content creator. I go into their app and I see there's a potential, if I make a TikTok about this restaurant or whatever, I could potentially make $400.
Sure. Yeah.
If I'm like a 19-year-old influencer, I would be interested not only in the opportunity to make $400, but also in the opportunity to grow
your brand.
A better idea.
That was the idea the whole time.
Does it have to be airtime, or could it just be like YouTube ad time?
I guess it could be anything, but my thought was airtime, especially on TV, I know is expensive and like pretty cost prohibitive. If again, I guess I don't think it's limited. Like they could put an ad anywhere, right? Like if you, but the idea is like this company basically front loads the cost of airtime, and
no, it makes sense. I mean, I think my idea might be a little better, which is like, this is a content network that gets like kind of jobs and creators together for short form videos at X price, and then we put them on like YouTube or whatever.
Sure,
like as YouTube pre-roll ads, right?
I mean,
and that
yeah,
just seems like a really good format.
Yeah, I think it could be any advertising medium, really. I mean, my thought was commercials, but yeah, I guess pre-roll or whatever.
No,
like they
commercials
have
too. It's just like, does anybody watch commercials?
I mean, millions of people watch commercials.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
I agree. I do think that I don't think you only do commercial. I think you do all forms of media, but yeah, I think this idea of like bidding out to creators and saying, hey, well, we pay a relatively small commission fee because the cost of putting together a formal commercial where it's like, hey, welcome to Buster's. We've got the nicest pancakes and and the music and it's expensive, and new
I
media.
get it. I get it. New media. That's why I'm saying don't put it on, like, don't take this new media concept and put it on TV. Put it in a place where people expect to see new media, like YouTube pre-roll ads.
I'm saying both. Put it in both.
All right,
all
fine.
of them.
Fine. Good idea. Broadwave is not the name. That sounds like 90s.com boom technology. But like, I don't know. What's that goofy platform that I was thinking about the other day? Anyway, there's a better name, like something catchier, like Twitter.
TikTok
for TikTokers.
TikTok for TikToks. I mean, it definitely does seem like you could call this, pick an animal, you could call this meerkat, or you could call this, Rafiki or something, and it could be anything. All right, Andre, we're going to wrap up the episode. And I know you asked me earlier, could this be its own idea? And no, I don't think it's there. This is
I will make it so good that you wish you brought it as a big idea.
So this is not the ongoing problem, which is we are in a housing crisis. Not a crisis. We're in like a housing shortage. Right?
All homeowners can say is what a housing crisis we're in. But continue.
Okay. So I was chatting with a girl today who said that she put an offer on the home for $60,000 over asking price.
I know, and within 20 minutes it was gone, and
did not get
lost out to somebody who paid all cash at $100,000.
Right.
Like, these stories are just getting sold.
Right.
I know houses sell fast; they sell for over asking. Nobody can get what they want. If you see something you love, you better be prepared to bid over, and you better be prepared to close fast. I get it. These stories are old and tired.
And not only that, but like put down hard cash that like you might not get back, which is crazy.
Oh.
Anyway, Andre.
It's crazy. Houses.
Okay, Mr. I'm renting.
I know. I'm just saying, if you're the kind of person that's going to work every day and you're telling crazy stories about how hard it is to buy a house, all of us that don't own a house have heard all of your stories already. We know it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm just setting the stage, Andre. We've talked about this in the past, so the last idea that didn't really work, but we kind of tried to iron out, was like, what if there was a way where you could basically like take out equity in your house later? Like you move somewhere at a really cheap rate, and then you basically exchange future equity in your house to live there. So this idea, Andre, it's a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
This is the idea. We are in a new age. There's new money. There's new media.
Yeah.
There's new money.
With all that new media came new money.
But it's not just, from TikTokers, right? Like, there are people who make money in all sorts of ways. There are engineers, and there are people who are cryptocurrency billionaires and all this stuff, right? Like people whose companies get acquired, and right? You have all these newly minted millionaires, right?
Right.
And not all of them are necessarily rich because they are extremely well connected. Often, lots of them are the opposite of that. They're just like individuals, right? So this is my thought. The thing about rich people is that they can't afford to buy houses and property and things right now. Like, yeah, they'll pay a little bit more, but like they're the ones who can pay cash and pick it up really quick, right? So what about this, Andre? What about a service that, okay, and it's going to be a little complicated, I know here, but just hear me out. If I'm wealthy, you get to a certain point where what you care about is less, like you always care about accruing wealth, but you start to care more about causes, right? Saving the rainforest. And
I love a cause.
You love a cause. Now, the thing about some of these new rich people is that maybe they're not connected, right? You know, how do you raise awareness about a hyper specific cause?
Yeah.
Right? You can buy ads, I guess. But that's like a little bit weird.
That is a weird.
Right? So what if there was a way where you could say, I'm rich and I'm going to buy these properties, and in exchange for selling the house below market value, you bring to the table your own personal network of influence to support whatever cause I am trying to push. And so whether you do that with pledges or whether I'm not totally sure the medium, but I say, hey, I have a network of a couple, 1,000 people. And if you sell me this house at below market, I will support your cause to save the Malaysian chimpanzees. And me and all my friends will tweet about it and we'll talk about it. And they will be bought in because I'm getting the house that I wanted, and they'll support me because they're in my network and they trust me. And then you have real human beings like that aren't looking at ads, to hear about your cause. You have, 50 to 100 people or whatever that you're willing to bring to the table as like supporters to support this cause that you care about. And you're willing to like lose out on like the value of the house and paying, whatever, because what you're getting is like supporters for your cause. And just maybe wealthy people might be willing to make that exchange. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think
almost,
especially it's like if you could somehow get me a tax write-off for the value of like the value for which I sold my home under market, like that starts to look like a more attractive like equity financial package. Which is like, okay, like we've created a financial package wherein you can sell your house for below market value, and the delta between the sale price and the market value, you get all of that in tax credit or tax break. Then like that's a very interesting way to start looking at fixing like the housing crisis, or like to start like normalizing house prices, is to give people like some sort of financial lever that makes it worth it because of course like the cause is awesome and like how that would work is awesome and like all of that makes total awesome sense to me, but it's like, how can we create a financial package, some measure that makes it worth it to like take that risk? It's like, what if you could get like the tax break that like you could apply like in any amount over the next 10 years or something. And it's like, yeah, I sold my house at a $40,000 loss or a $40,000 whatever.
Right. Under market. Yeah.
$40,000, not at a loss, but maybe you made 10K even, but you could have made significantly more. And you do that and you're kind of like investing the difference in your future gains. I know I'll have tax burden that I want to relieve in the future. Economists could like figure out what this maybe it needs to look like.
I would love that as a legislation, but I don't know from a business. I don't know if a company could come in and like make a business out of that necessarily. I mean, maybe there's a way there. I'm just trying to think of like, there's got to be a way where you could leverage. You could give somebody the person who can afford a house right now. What's the thing that they can't get just by money, And my this is why I say it's just there's the kernel of an idea.
It's a cloudy idea.
Which is just like the thing that you can't buy with money is friends. Like you can't buy relationships. You can't buy like influence in the same, like authentic influence. Like you have to earn it. You have to like accrue it over time, But if there was a way where you could like bring to the table your network, as like hey, like you do this, and because of this system that's pledged, all of a sudden you have 200 subscribers to your thing, and everyone will just tweet out or post out about how much they like it, or I don't know, there's something, I don't know.
My idea is better.
Your idea's not a business.
I get it. It's like your idea isn't really a business either.
No, the business. Yeah, this is the business, which is like you are the facilitator between the wealthy people buying homes and the people pledging their network to the rich people. Like you're the connective tissue there.
Where do I make the money there?
So you make the money in the transaction of the sell price. So a rich person basically buys several homes and they list them for sale under market value plus a fee to
that goes to this facilitator.
This facilitator, and I come in and I say, all right, I have 100 pledges gone through this app, almost like what's this, changethis.org or whatever. Mm-hmm. Something, I don't know.
Just change.org.
Change it.
Maybe it's change.
No, it's change.org. I know.
Then Thieves noodle on this and send us an email at idea@ghostofthecity.com. I don't know if I'm just too dumb to understand real estate or I'm too dumb to understand Scott's idea, but I think we should lobby the government to do tax breaks.
I agree. Senators, if you're listening, that is the solution, is make an extreme advantage for people who sell their house under market value.
Yes. Make it good to do that.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm always looking for an angle. Well, we tried, Andre. We tried. We had some good ones, some okay ones, some ones you weren't in love with, but I think we had a good episode. Where can the thieves find us, Andre?
Thieves can find us at www.gostealthisidea.com. They can also send us an email at idea@gostealthisidea.com as well. They can also find us on Twitter @gostealthisidea and on Instagram @gostealthisidea. Thieves that truly love the podcast should do two things. First, they should go to Spotify and Apple, and they should rate the podcast 5 stars, because that is one of the biggest things you can do to show all the people out there how great our podcast is.
Yes.
The second thing that they can do is share it with a friend. These are the things that you should do if you truly love the podcast and you want to help us grow and succeed and get all the listeners in the world. If you really, really want to support the podcast, the very best thing that Scott and I would be so appreciative of is if you supported us on Patreon. Patreon is a site where people can pledge a couple of dollars a month to show creators who work really hard on content like the Steal This Idea podcast that you love them. We have a Patreon. It is linked in the description below. And for just a couple of dollars a month, you can, 1, help us do this silly podcast, and 2, you can access some Patreon exclusive content. We have a couple of episodes that are on the Patreon that you can only access there. So if you love us, you can support us on Patreon.
Right. Thank you, Andre. Thieves, this has been a great episode. We'd love to hear from you. Send us what your thoughts on these ideas or anything. We want to hear from you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will catch you in the next one. Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are, on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.